G'day, Bezza Burns live from Fox Sports 3. Match summary of the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks versus St George Illawarra Dragons, live from Kogarah Jubilee. Sorry, Oki Jubilee, formerly Jubilee Stadium. The Dragons have amalgamated with the Illawarra Juniors. And they've never won a premiership. They've been in the competition since 1990 and have underachieved with the playing staff they've had. And the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, well, they've never won a premiership. 40 years and gone close on a few occasions, but the premiership's always eluded the Sharks. Anyway, they locked horns at Oki Jubilee last night, and I think I'd rather stand. I'm a little bit nervous. And it was a phenomenal battle of the forwards. There was some really savage... The defence was awesome on both sides. Although both teams looked a little bit flat and one-dimensional in attack. It was a classical local derby where they both really wanted to win. Were desperate for the points, and Cronulla ended up prevailing and getting the 2 competition points. And in hindsight, it was a game where the Sharks really had to win because they'd lost 2 straight, and losing 3 straight, that would have really dented their confidence for that charge towards the semi-finals in September. Well, the Dragons, unfortunate for the Dragons. They've had a long list of injuries in 2007. The likes of Gasnier, Young, Smith, Powell, has really restricted the Dragons and probably faded their chances of winning a premiership this season. And they could be a bit of a nasty side for teams trying to get in the semi-finals as them players return in the back half of the season. I'd hate to be playing the Dragons at full strength with if you were trying to make the semi-finals. Anyway, I've wandered off from the game a little bit, and I'm running out of time. And my little co-announcer here, little Rhys Dutton's giving me the get back to the game. Cronulla's defence was really good. I think Coach Stewart would be pretty proud that St George scored early off kicks, and the other try they scored was the only leak in the Cronulla defence. And the Saints led 10-0 after 20 minutes, and Cronulla supporters were probably thinking, oh, here we go again. But they managed to fight back through some good combination in the halves through Dykes and Watts. Watts been the dark horse. Ricky Stewart said he was after a player from the Roosters, and everyone assumed it was Josh Lewis, but it was a kid, Michael Watts, and I was impressed with his debut. He had a cool head, and he had a better kicking game than Dykes, who's a very experienced first grader. And he found a lot of depth with his kicking game, and he ran at the line well, and he's got a good step. And I think he's got a big future at the Sharks. As Dykes is in his last season, so he might be the real dark horse for Cronulla in years to come. He's only 21, and I think I'm tipping that he's going to have a big future. The pivotal point of the game was in the 59th minute, where Adam Peake put a late shot on Adam Dykes. In my view, St George were unlucky. If Dykes didn't take a dive, I don't even think they would have got the penalty, and they've ended up with a send-off through the video ref. And I think St George were a little bit unlucky with that. But in hindsight, you're not allowed to raise your arm. But I think the send-off was pretty harsh. They should have maybe just put him on report, and he'd miss a couple of matches. But I don't think they should have sent him off. He was sent off in the 50th minute, and so all the momentum you'd think would be with St George, with Cronulla. In hindsight, it turned out differently because from that moment, Cronulla were under the pump. St George had 90% of the possession, and Cronulla, looked like they were going to fade. And their defence, they just kept finding something and really wanted to win. So there were some real pleasing aspects there for the Cronulla side, and St George would be a little bit disappointed with that amount of possession and not coming up with the 2 competition points. Anyway, I'm running out of puff, so this is B. Burns signing off from Kogarah Jubilee. Thanks for that.